Okay guys, you're looking at my shoes through glass, but that's not important right now. It's Izabella time, yay!
Hello again guys!
This is it, part 4. You want to talk about the dark side of your previous job as adult operating recording.
As the people that are watching already know, I talk about it in a very positive light. I am going to highlight some of the sort of creepier side to it. So, as it's the sex industry, people, normally associate sex with other higher emotions a lot of the time. So generally, there have been a lot of cases on the show where girls get regular viewers and regular callers, and these regular callers turn into an actual relationship of some kind, where maybe they feel that they are in love with the girl, and will let the girl. They will say this to the girl, and the girl will just sort of have to go along with it because that's the way it is. So you have to try and keep it up. But it can go a bit weirder than that as well. Generally, sometimes as well, this could lead to them stalking the girl. And there have been many very weird incidents where some of the girls have been in a bit of danger from it. I'm not going to say who, but I know one girl who went to a nightclub and he followed her there, checked out where she went home from there, then also followed her boyfriend to see where he lived, and then used to take photos of her house and her road and then send them to her in because we have fan pages where we get fan mail and they can send us images and we can send images back. They used to get bombarded with harassment from this one caller who used to thoroughly stalk her. I myself had a very weird relationship with a certain someone. I'm not going to say who, but it led to him being very much into sort of like the deader side of me, like for me not being alive. He enjoyed the idea of me being dead and him amusing himself with me as not being alive. And he liked the idea of him having sex with me dead and all this sort of bizarre stuff, and that got very weird as well. That took a very, very strange turn where he started harassing me quite a bit as well, and one of the on-screen girls I worked with had to get involved and tell him to stop. The very big issue for me was the fact that he was 15% of my income. Like, he was that much of a big caller, one of my regulars, that to eliminate him and try and get anything against him would have caused me a potential loss in earnings and profit.
Yeah.
Wow. So it's not all, the majority of it is a pretty good thing, but you'll come face to face with some very dark side stuff as well. It's the sex world. Everyone has weird kinks and quirks that may not be allowed, which is why they come to you on there.
Yeah.
Like, you'll find that there are a lot of people that are into like incest and bestiality, mixing drugs with sex as well, and they will talk to you about it down the phone, and you're not allowed to influence it. I had a heroin addict that used to regularly phone me up and ask me and he would ask if I wanted him to shoot up down on the phone to me. Obviously, I don't want him to do that, so I can't encourage it. Instead, I'd have to discourage it. So I'd have to say things like, "Are you going to shoot up between your toes? That's right. You're better than this. Come on. Don't do that." Like, that's what I used to say. I've also been on the phone when a man phoned up and was actually having sexual intercourse with his own pet dog.
Oh my God.
And that really scarred, that personally really scarred me. I remember that evening very too well, to be honest. He phoned up and he started asking me what kind of animal I would like to be if I could, and I thought it was a bit of harmless play, so I was going along with it. I could then hear squeals round in the back or something, so I put the phone on loudspeaker so that the rest of the cast and the girls could hear what was going on. You could clearly tell it was his pet or something that he was doing something to. He even then confessed down the phone to us that he was. I hung up the phone and I told the people that I was working with, if they do not retract that number and phone up and do something about it, I'm going to quit. I left early that evening as well because it was just weird.
Yeah.
It's not something you want to hear when you're in the middle of trying to work. Like literally, the guy beforehand was just telling me how much he'd love to lick honey off my body, and I'm like, oh yes, sounds wicked. We'll definitely do that.
Did you ever feel like you were going to quit based on anything like this?
That was the only moment I actually felt like I was going to leave the job, when that guy phoned up and I could hear that he was fucking his own dog down the phone. It's disgusting. It's wrong on every level. It's not right.
No, it's not.
It's not right.
This is the dark side.
This is the dark side. The dark side is just the weird side of the things as well. You've become very desensitized about anything sexual. You've sort of heard it all and seen it all by the time you've been in the industry for only like a couple of months or so.
Yeah.
You go from maybe speaking very nicely to having the dirtiest mouth that's ever walked the planet. Like the swear words that you pick up, like the sentences that I could string together would offend even porn stars, I feel. Yeah.
Wow. Well, hey, this has been very informative as ever.
Yeah, of course.
In the next interview, I'd like to know, without you mentioning names, a bit more what it was like behind the scenes of because there's a lot of soap opera shit happening there. But for now, say goodbye, camera.